Well, good afternoon. Thank you. I usually say Mr. McKinley, but Admiral McKinley for inviting me. A little bit of a funny story. We go to St. Paul's Episcopal together, and a few weeks ago, Mrs. McKinley and I were working on a project at church, and she said, "Susan, tell me what you're doing now." So about 10 minutes later, when she could finally get a word in, she said, "I don't believe I've ever met anyone as enthusiastic for their job as you are." So I want to share some of that with you today, along with talking about what we're doing at the Kingsport Center for Higher Ed and the Academic Village. I realize that there are people in this office that could probably do a better job on the front end of this than I am, because Mr. Campbell we haven't met, but he was very instrumental in a lot of the work that went on, along with Dr. Bill Locke. Dr. Locke and I worked together at Walters State many years ago. I came on to Northeast State and he followed, and he gave me so many opportunities that really cemented my career in higher ed. So it's really special for me now to be back at Northeast State, but to be back in a place that he had so much influence in developing. I am new to my position. I only became the director on April 1st, not new to Northeast State at all, but I do want to say, I know the mayor's here. Before I get started, I do want to say the city takes really good care of us. And we're going to talk in a few minutes about the buildings in the academic village and who owns what and all of that. So again, thank you, and we'll get started. Our origination, and this was the part that I said a lot of people in this room can probably do even better than I can, but we were conceived in 2007. Dr. Locke, along with a lot of city leaders, Mr. Campbell, Mr. Phillips at that time, came together and said Kingsport needs a center for higher education. It opened in fall of 2009. Our first class was in 2009. The city of Kingsport contributed $18.5 million for the academic village. We'll talk in just a minute, and I'll show you the difference between just the Center for Higher Ed and the academic village. There are 4 other buildings in the academic village. We have the Regional Center for Health Programs. All of Northeast State's health programs are located here. So if you're at a Northeast State student and you're in the nursing program, or you're even EMT, you're going to be at what we call RCHIP, the Center for Health Programs in Kingsport. We have Blazer Wilson Hall. That is where all of our student services are located. We do admissions there, we do testing there. We have the Regional Center for Advanced Manufacturing. We have RCAM, which is just an absolutely fabulous facility. If you've not had anyone come from RCAM to talk to you about everything that they've got going on there, I can put you in touch with Dr. Sam Rowell. And then we have the Powell Barger Regional Center for Automotive Technology, and that rounds out the academic village. So what's the purpose of the Kingsport Center for Higher Ed? And you'll hear me say KCHE. We have a lot of acronyms down there. We do serve as the Center for Higher Education in Kingsport. We have in this one building a total of 54,900 square feet, and we have 19 classrooms. The total cost for that building alone was $13.8 million, and Kingsport contributed $11.85 million. So through the years, Northeast State continues obviously to be a huge part of the Kingsport Center for Higher Education. East Tennessee State is still with us. We have a permanent position there. And we also have the Kingsport Alliance for Continued Learning. Many of you may participate in that. We have a lot of programs. They're out for the summer. We are renovating. They have a room, a cantilever classroom that seats 50 people, and that's where they have their programs, and we are updating the technology for them this summer. So we're all going to be really excited about that. And also, as a Center for Higher Ed, in years past, we have had representatives from King University there, Lincoln Memorial, and the University of Tennessee. And of course, you know, I'm sure that nobody comes to you right now and speaks about anything that's going on and has referenced the effect of COVID, because that just really messed everything up. When COVID hit, you know, everybody went online. You know, we had 2 weeks at Northeast State. I had just joined Northeast State, but we had a week of spring break. Then we gave the faculty another week, and we said, you're going online. Even if you've never taught an online class, you're going online. And so a lot of these other schools did the same thing. So we had a place, and they were paying rent and occupying space, but all of their classes were Zoom. So we hope to work with the city to get some more people back, but right now Northeast State and ETSU are going strong in the Kingsport Center. So the building use, what do we do? I referenced this a few minutes ago, but what do we do in KC? And out from each of these, I'll tell you who owns the building. The city does own the Kingsport Center for Higher Ed. We offer liberal arts and transfer courses. I'll show you a list of those in a minute. So if you're a Northeast State student and you live here in Kingsport, we recruit you and invite you to come to Kingsport and take your classes. We have civic and industry use. We just finished 8 months with Domtar in our building, using our auditorium and using some of our meeting rooms. In addition to the 50-seat cantilever classroom, we have a 250-seat auditorium. Some of you may have been to programs in there. And also, we house the local office for U.S. Representative Harshbarger. The health programs building is also owned by the city, and like I said, that is every single health program that Northeast State offers. RCAM is owned by Northeast State. We do workforce training and technology courses, and I'm going to break this down a little bit more in just a few minutes. Blazer Wilson is also a city building, and RCAT is a building. It's actually owned by Northeast State's foundation with Mr. Barger's very generous gift of $400,000. We were able to set that up, and that's actually owned. The money was given to the foundation, so it's actually owned by Northeast State Foundation. Oops, let's go back. I want to show you a map here. This is just a map that shows you where we are and how close we are together. We are, you know, the RCAM building, Domtar is right here. So RCAM is right here. We're all around Clinchfield Street, Main Street, and Market Street. The nice thing here, this is the Center for Higher Ed. This is open space, parking, green space, and then we also have a child care center right here. So I tell people, why would you not want to come to KC and take your classes? We have tons of parking. We're right across the street from the police department, so we're very safe. And we have a child care center right down the street. So, I mean, we have everything going for us that so many other colleges and universities struggle with, particularly parking. And we're very safe. But that's where we are. We're located. I can walk from my office at KC to RCAM in, you know, about 5 minutes. So we're all located very close together. And this is the Kingsport Center for Higher Ed. It is an absolutely beautiful building, both inside and out. This is a picture of a biology classroom. We'll show you in a minute, but we have biology, chemistry, and physics. We teach a lot of anatomy and physiology 1 and 2 because almost all of our health programs, especially the nursing program, they have to have that along with micro. So we say, come to the Kingsport Center, take all your prerequisites, such as anatomy 1 and 2, micro, statistics, psychology, and communication, and then when you're accepted into the nursing program, you simply walk down the street for your nursing classes. That is our library, our Learning Resource Center. It looks kind of small, but the nice thing is they have full access to everything that we have on the main campus. So if they look up and they go, there's a book on U.S. history that I need at the main campus, then it would be couriered down to them through a courier, and they would pick it up there. A lot of this is we have a lot of tutoring that goes on, a lot of study sessions. This place was very busy around finals time. A lot of people come in there to study, and we do have a librarian on duty there all the time. And this is our auditorium. Again, it seats 250 people. We have the fire department graduations. We have a lot of fun things going on there, as long as available for meetings. We had the regional Boy Scouts through a few days ago, looking for a place to hold some of their workshops. So we love visitors, and we love for people to make arrangements to use our building. And this is our lounge area in the back. Snack machines and drink machines, coffee machines and microwaves and that kind of thing for students to come and take a break. Okay, a lot of people want to know what our enrollment is. This is fall of 2019, and of course, as I said a few minutes ago, that was pre-COVID. The orange is head count. Okay, that means how many students actually were there. The yellow is what a higher ed people we look at, and it's FTE, full-time enrollment. And you get your FTE by taking all of the credit hours that you generate, every single student, if they take 15 hours or whatever, you take your total credit hours, divide them by the number of students that you have. So, while we like for this to be, about the same, it's not, and it's generally not for most colleges, because we have a lot of non-traditional students that work during the day and can only take a couple of classes a semester. Fall and spring, you can see, like I said, with COVID, that's where we really hit the wall. And then fall and spring 21, we're beginning to come back. Right now, when we look at registration for this coming fall, compared to last year, we're still ahead, but everybody in higher ed right now, we can't help but look back to pre-COVID. And so when we, even right now, look back to pre-COVID, we're not where we were. We're better than we were last year. So it's just going to take some time. Nothing in higher ed happens overnight, especially retention. And we've got lots of things going on right now. I mean, we had federal government money that we could help students, pay their tuition, but if they needed food or they needed gas cards. So we have a lot of things going on, but retention programs, even when COVID's not going on, are not things that are overnight fixes. So we're working to get back there, and we'll talk a little more about that before we finish some things that we've got going on. Actually, and I have the actual figures here for you. I thought you might be interested. Let's see. Fall and spring of 2019, our head count was 1,279. When we dropped for COVID, we were at 497, and last year we were at 714. And we're working really hard, like I said, to bring that up and to have that higher this year. Here's in-person courses that we have at KT. Okay, we have Zoom available if they, like, for example, they go, I want to take a criminal justice course, and even though we don't have that in person, we can sign them up for a Zoom criminal justice course. But these are the in-person classes that we're offering: biology, anatomy, physiology, and micro. We have chemistry, we have communication, economics, English, history, humanities. We have information science, and we also have a networking class this fall on campus, which I'm very excited about. Math, any kind of math, but especially statistics. Almost every degree program at Northeast State requires statistics. That's a big change from when I was here 20-some years ago, but almost every one takes statistics. We do a lot of tutoring and study groups in both anatomy and physiology and statistics. You can get a tutor in anything you need, but we have formal study groups for anatomy and physiology and statistics, and physics and psychology. So I just went down the list, and that's what we're offering in person for the fall. I think every college and university across the United States, unless they already were an all online institution, is trying to find right now the balance that they need. We try to go right now. Last year we were about 50-50, 50% in person and 50% online. Because we have some people, and usually they're the younger students, that have realized that they're just not quite disciplined enough for completely online. And so that's something we ask them, do you want your classes online or in person? And most of them will say, well, I really want on person, but if I had to take one online, I could. And then you have the working adult who comes home and they have children and they're doing their schoolwork about 10 o'clock at night. They need online classes. So, trying to find the balance and make sure that we're able to offer what we need to offer is it's going to be a continuing process, I think, from here on out. I don't think that's going to change. This is the Regional Health Center for Health Professions. This is where, again, all of our health programs, and these are the health programs that we have. I thought that might be interesting for you to see. We have a 2-year RN program. We have LPN to RN. We have surgical technology, dental assisting, medical lab technology, EMT and paramedic, and cardiovascular technology. So those are the health programs, and those are very popular. For the most part, they're very competitive, especially the RN program right now. You really, when you're looking at your prerequisites, if you want to be in the nursing program, you really don't want to have anything less than a B, and you really want to have an A. And some people, end up taking anatomy and physiology more than once, and that's okay. But the competition is very stiff to get, especially in the RN program right now. RCAM, like I said, this is an amazing place. The equipment they have, the facilities they have, and everything that's going on right now. They do industry training. They have apprenticeships, and they also have credit courses. Just like we have a brand new on the Blounteville campus, we have a brand new technical building that is absolutely beautiful. But in electrical, mechanical, and welding, they can also come and do the same thing at Kingsport. So if you're working all day and you want a welding course and you live closer to Kingsport, then you have the option to come to Kingsport and take that. Here is everybody that we have an apprenticeship with right now at RCAM. I got in touch with those folks this week, and you can see, and that's something that they're working really hard to build for our students, is apprenticeship programs. So those are the ones that we have right now. And this is where we do the structured training labs. We do right now Eastman, Domtar, and A.O. Smith. Eastman and Domtar were very influential and put a lot of resources in getting RCAM started. And we do a ton of training for them right now. And we're gearing up again as Domtar comes back and changes their product. Again, like I said, we've had them in our building for 8 months, but they're continuing to do a lot of work with them in RCAM. And A.O. Smith is a water heater company that we do some training with them. And this is the Powell Barger Center for Automotive Programs. Mr. Byington has that and does an absolutely fabulous job with that program. Blazer Wilson is, again, where we do student services. So even if you go, I want to fill out an application, you don't have to go all the way to Blounteville. Of course, everything's online now, but if you want to fill it out in person, or if you want to talk to someone about financial aid, you can come, you can do all that at the Academic Village. They are right down the street, a half a block away from us. But we do testing. I'll have that on the next slide. We do admissions and recruiting. We have a recruiter that works out of Blazer Wilson, career services, registration, financial aid, testing, and that's also where our adult education program is. Mr. McKinney is the director of that, and they do a fabulous job as well. But they are located in Blazer Wilson Hall. Opportunities. I highlighted the two in green that are my personal objectives, my personal mission, and that's to increase enrollment at KC and positively influence college retention, and then to increase the visibility of KC and Academic Village. I want to talk just 1 second about point of contact. Point of contact, we started on the main campus let's see, last spring semester. And it's a simple concept, okay? But point of contact is when you are a new student, you have all your paperwork in, and you're ready to register for your first semester, you are assigned a specific person, okay? And I might have, like, we're doing the same thing at KC for Dobbins Bennett. We took Dobbins Bennett, Gate City, and Volunteer, because those usually are the people that want to come to KC, okay? So I may have R through Z. And so I'll take my list and I'll call up John Smith and I'll say, "Hi, John. My name is Susan Stevenson, and I'm your point of contact for at least your first semester at Northeast State. And we're getting ready to build your schedule. So let's talk a little bit about, I see that you're a welding major, okay? Well, do you want classes where for welding they're going to be in person? But, if they have an option for in person or online, do you want to come to the Kingsport campus?" And of course, I'm doing all I can to get them to come to the Kingsport campus and that kind of thing. And then we will draft a schedule for them based on our conversation. And then we will meet in person with them if they want to meet in person. If they go, "No, if you just want to email it to me," and then we'll talk. But we are their point of contact. So that means if 3 weeks from now you're concerned that your financial aid is not ready for the fall, you call me. Now, probably I'm not going to know the answer to the financial aid question, but I'm going to find out for you. So you're not dealing with the financial aid folks. They're great, but they're very busy. I find out the answer for you, for John, and then I get back in touch with him. It's a simple concept, but we are doing that now for all new students at the Blountville campus, and we've started with the Kingsport campus, still ironing out some kinks, but I believe that that is going to go a long way toward increasing our enrollment and increasing our retention. And increase the visibility. We are having a block party. It's on Friday from 12 to 2, so you can come here Friday, July 8th, so you can come here for your meeting, and then you can come down and have a soda with us. It's going to be in the green space in the parking lot between KC and the Child Development Center. And so that is a combined effort of the entire academic village. That's something else we're working on, is because of COVID, even the people in the academic village haven't been able to get together. They used to have a Thanksgiving Day dinner or a Thanksgiving week dinner. So this is getting all of us back together and working on a project. And we're going to invite all of our neighbors, all the businesses around to be with us. So hot dogs and chips and drinks and cookies that day. We are having at KC, at the Kingsport Center, we're having a friends and family night on July the 28th. We are inviting every student that is enrolled with us for a fall class to come and tour the facility and meet the faculty. And we want them to bring mom and dad and grandma and grandpa, aunt and uncle, anybody they want to bring. Because, especially when you first start college, it's just not the student. It's everybody in the family sometimes. So we want everybody to come. We're going to have some food. Like I said, we're going to go from about 5 to 7:30 that night. I'm really excited about that. So it'll be kind of an open house, but it's going to be targeted to people that we know are coming to KC in the fall. I'm trying really hard to participate in chamber events. Again, just anything to get our name out there. And obviously, I like to speak. So if you need a speaker for something, my business card's up here. Please, let me have 15 or 20 minutes to share my enthusiasm. And then working with the city and the consortium to bring other colleges and universities back to our Center for Higher Ed. This is a sculpture. I'm sure Mr. Campbell's familiar with this. This was for when they first opened. It was commissioned from Patty Lawrence. It's called Birds of a Feather. And for all my chemistry and Eastman people in here, they are made out of an Eastman polymer. Now that's all I know about chemistry, so I just know enough to say that. But it is a very interesting sculpture. I was standing on the second floor looking up when I made that picture, but it's very interesting and very, very pretty. So that's our sculpture that hangs, you can see, kind of in the atrium. We do have 3 floors. So, What questions do you have? What have I left out? Yes, sir.